You are listening to part 49 of the podcast series, How Successful People Think.
As you explore the concept of bottom line thinking, recognize that it can help you in many ways. Bottom line thinking provides great clarity. What's the difference between bowling and work? In bowling, it takes only 3 seconds to know how you've done. That's one of the reasons people love sports so much. There's no waiting and no guessing about the outcome. Bottom line thinking makes it possible for you to measure outcomes more quickly and easily. It gives you a benchmark to measure activity by. It can be used as a focused way of ensuring that all your little activities are purposeful and line up towards achieving a larger goal. Bottom line thinking helps you assess every situation. When you know what your bottom line is, then it becomes much easier to know how you're doing in any given area. There's no better measurement tool than the bottom line. Bottom line thinking helps you make the best decisions. Similarly, decisions also become much easier when you know your bottom line. When the Girl Scouts were struggling in the 1970s, outside organizations approached them to try to convince them to become women's rights activists or door-to-door canvassers. But under Francis, it was easy for the Girl Scouts to say no. They knew what their bottom line was, and they wanted to pursue it with focus and fervency. Bottom line thinking generates high morale. When you know what the bottom line is and you go after it, you greatly increase your odds of winning. And nothing generates high morale like winning. Hitting the target is always exhilarating, and you can hit it only if you know what it is. Bottom line thinking ensures your future. If you want to be successful tomorrow, then you need to think bottom line today. Look at any successful, lasting company, and you'll find leaders who know their bottom line, and they make their decisions, allocate their resources, hire their people, and structure their organizations to achieve it. Seeing the value of the bottom line isn't difficult. Most people would agree that bottom line thinking has a high return. Learning how to be a bottom line thinker can be more challenging. Utilize the following 5 steps to help you improve your ability to harness bottom line thinking in your life. Number 1, identify the real bottom line. The process of bottom line thinking begins with knowing what you're really going after. It can be as lofty as the big picture vision, mission, or purpose of an organization, or it can be as focused as what you want to accomplish on a particular project. What's important is that you be as specific as possible. If your goal is for something as vague as success, you will have a painfully difficult time trying to harness bottom line thinking to achieve it. The first step is to set aside your wants. What you really need to do is get to the results you're really looking for, the true essence of the goal. When it comes right down to it, what are you really trying to achieve? What must occur? What is acceptable? That is really the bottom line. Number 2, make the bottom line the point. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone, and although he's stating that his intentions are one thing, you know that he has another agenda? Sometimes that kind of situation can be the result of intentional deception. However, I believe it also occurs sometimes when the person is unaware of his own bottom line. The same kind of thing happens in companies. For example, sometimes an idealistically stated mission and the real bottom line aren't one and the same. Purpose and profits compete with each other. Number 3, create a strategic plan to achieve the bottom line. One of the greatest values of bottom line thinking is that it achieves results. Therefore, it naturally follows that any plans that flow out of that kind of thinking must tie directly back to the bottom line. Once it is determined what that is, a strategy must be created to achieve it. In organizations, that often means identifying the core elements or functions that must operate properly to achieve the bottom line. This is the leader's responsibility. The important thing is that when the bottom line of each activity is achieved, then the bottom line is achieved. If the sum of the smaller goals don't add up to achieve the real bottom line, then either your strategy is flawed or you've not identified your real bottom line. Number 4, align team members with the bottom line. Once you have your strategy in place, you need to make sure your people line up with your strategy. Ideally, not only should all the people on the team know the big goal, but they should also know what their individual role is in achieving it.